The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The Jets start OTAs this week, and the New York Knicks are going to the NBA Finals. Let's go!
We sitting in here, we excited as hell.
Now it's time to get to work. Are you a happy guy?
Oh my goodness, let's go!
I haven't felt joy talking about the Jets in a long time. When they announced it, I went, yeah! Let's go! A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans and Knick fans. I am in a glorious mood today. Welcome in. Hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We are presented by PrizePicks. I don't have much of a voice. I was out late last night on 7th Avenue after watching the Knicks advance to the NBA Finals for the first time in 27 years. Surreal feeling. A lot of times I never thought I would see this. And here we are, the Knicks, 4 wins away from their first championship since 1973. We will talk some Jets during the show. OTA start tomorrow. First open practice for the media is Thursday. ESPN's Rich Cimini put together 5 questions the Jets need to answer throughout OTAs. But we're starting with the New York Knicks. And in addition to covering the Jets, he runs the site KnicksXFactor.com. Robby Sabo joins us now. Robby, pinch me, man. It doesn't feel real that the Knicks are going to the NBA Finals, and the way they have done it, now 11 consecutive playoff wins, most of them laughers, including last night, just utter domination. It's hard to put into words. It really is.
It's strange, and not in a bad way, but it's strange in terms of where's the struggle? You know, it's like everyone knows I fart dust these days. I'm an old man. I remember 94, 99. I was a sophomore in high school. There was a struggle. You went up against the Heat in the first round. It was a lockout, so they really weren't an 8th seeded team. But Heat, Pacers in the ECF, Allen Houston coming of age, doing his thing against Reggie, dashing their hopes, and you didn't think twice. Spring at the Garden in the 90s was a rite of passage, even for the Rangers, until the late 90s came and crap hit the fan. But it's a very different feeling right now. And on top of it, in this modern NBA, it's different in that, look, if someone's being objective and says, hey, they had an easy path to the finals, everything broke right. It's true. It shouldn't take away from your happiness, though. That happened. However, they have played so unbelievably mythical. Like, it doesn't make sense how well they're playing and how well they're shooting, that it didn't matter who the opponent was. Let's be real. I still remember it. I was a freshman in college when Van Gundy retired on my birthday, December 2001. And, I was irate. But he knew what was coming. Layden was the GM, and that kickstarted, 2 decades of just awfulness. Layden, Isaiah Thomas. So from that angle, it is, it's something to behold, and all Knicks fans should be through the roof right now.
It is a surreal feeling, man. Again, I don't care who you're playing. When you're doing things that have never been done in the history of the NBA, it is eye-opening. Again, Look at the point differential in the closeout games of each of the 3 series the Knicks have won. They won by 51 in Atlanta for Game 6. They won by 30 in Philly in Game 4. And Game 4 last night, they won by 37. The Knicks, one of my favorite stats from just watching this game, Jalen Brunson in all three of those games you see on the screen, he didn't play a minute in the fourth quarter in any of those games. Again, it is not supposed to be easy. Enjoy what we're watching, Knick fans. I know the Knick fan is, because we just haven't seen it. There's an entire generation that all they've known is losing. They don't even remember the 90s teams. The 90s teams, to me, love hearing about them. Didn't get to see them. Was alive for them. Had no memory of them.
You had 2013. That's it.
Yeah,
and that was the closest
1 year.
thing. Yep.
Dude, there were the Knicks dropped confetti when they were losing
that was
3 games to nothing to the Miami Heat in 2011 when they won Game 4 to save elimination for another game.
This team and the Isaiah "Welcome to the playoffs" comment were the two most embarrassing things from that stretch.
Everything, man. Phil Jackson and the Tarek Fisher, the David Fizdale, just so embarrassing, man. Shout out to Mike Brown. The total buy-in from the team has just been unbelievable to watch. I mean, Robbie, the Knicks last night, they put up 130 points, and not one of their starters scored 20 points. The production they are getting from everyone in the lineup, just the way they move the ball, the team defense, it is a joy to watch. When you talk about like basketball being beautiful, it's how the Knicks are playing right now. It is something, man. They have total buy-in. Something clicked when they were down 2-1 from that point on.
They reverted to who they are. That's what happened.
The last time they lost a game, I was in Pittsburgh at the NFL draft. Night 1. That was the last time they lost a game. They have not lost a game in a month. It is surreal.
So let's think back, right? They had these scrappy Thibodeau teams, defense, Dante. Everyone loved them, okay? Randall, everyone loved those teams. Tibbs overachieved with those rosters, with that talent. When on the eve of the season, they acquire Towns. This was Bridges' first year too, last year. When the season started, everyone knew they were thin. Mitch was hurt the entire season. They didn't have anything on the bench, like nothing. Tibbs, he doesn't go deep, and that's a problem of his, but still, they didn't have anybody. What was the surprise to start last year? They were leading the world in assists. They were passing it beautifully. It was kind of a shocker. It was something like, whoa, what the hell's going on? This is not a classic Knicks defensive first. They still had the intensity, don't get me wrong, but they were doing different things. And then little by little, they sort of pieced it together in terms of where they are now. The one thing is their ceiling is higher because they're deeper. They have a second year together. That's a thing too. You need time with a new team.
Chemistry matters. And we a lot of times forget that in sports. This core playing together for another full year, going through the playoff wars, like that's a part of this. They learned from game 1
100%.
Last year against Indiana with how they came back and won game 1 this year, for example.
Yes, and the ceiling is high. The ceiling has been higher this year compared to last year, but is the floor lower? I don't anticipate the floor hitting them at all. I mean, in the finals, no, it's not going to happen. But that's what we saw in terms of regular season this year versus last year. It ain't going to happen in the finals. Now, we'll get into strategy. I think Knicks would much rather play the Spurs, and the way things are going in these playoffs, I think it will be the Spurs. Once Philly beat Boston, I put in Slack and Nick X, I go, it's going to be Knicks Spurs. It's just, that's the way the NBA is. The storyline writes itself. Revenge for 99. Mike Brown used to be a Spurs coach. Wemby, the superstar versus the Knicks. So I'd rather be the Spurs, but we'll see. They'll be on the road. It'll be the first time they'll be on the road too, which should be interesting.
It's just hard to believe, man. I mean, where this team was the last several years, kind of building to this point, and to actually break through the way they did. And all the people that said Jalen Brunson was in overpay, all the people that said
that's ridiculous.
You can't win with him, you can't win with Towns. What are they doing with the Bridges deal? All the things that people knocked the Knicks for. And now all these people have the nerve to try and say, well, the East is easy. Where were these people picking the Knicks at the beginning of the playoffs? They weren't. So don't let any of the Knick haters out there try and spoil the fun. Knicks get 9 days off now before the NBA Finals. Enjoy it. We have plenty of time to debate. Is it better for them to face OKC? Is it better for them to face San Antonio? I'd rather play the San Antonio Spurs for a couple of reasons. One, inexperience on their side.
Yep.
They have never been in the playoffs with this group. Wembanyama's in his first playoffs. He's supposed to just go all the way to the finals and win. Typically, you got to get knocked down along the way before you just win in the history of the NBA. Two, the Knicks, I just think matchup-wise, they match up better. And I also want revenge for 99. And I just think with the Thunder, it would be infuriating to watch the way that team flops and plays basketball. So I rather avoid that. I think the Knicks could beat either.
That's the NBA, though. That's what it's become.
I get it.
Yeah.
I think they could beat either. But to me, give me the Knicks against the team that is going through it the first time in the finals like the Knicks are. But the Knicks have so much more playoff experience. I think they match up better with the Spurs. But I'll take my chance against either one. I'm just basking in the glory that is the New York Knicks being 4 wins away from a championship.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Robbie.
Nice. Dude, if it was 25 years ago, I was just telling one of my guys, I'd be flipping a car in New York, but I'm like the old Oracle, happy living through the youngsters right now. I feel like my niece, who's 11 years old, lives and dies with the team. I look at her and I feel like it was me in 94 with the Rangers and Knicks, but the Knicks just came up short. Hakeem's long arm.
You'd be out there. Landry, Shamet.
I'm telling you. If Hakeem didn't block Starks' 3, Knicks would have won in 94. Look it up. Game 6. He was hot to end that fourth.
Or if Riley goes to Ronaldo Blackman, perhaps.
Yeah, well, Game 7. That was a day later. But Game 6, they were right there. Fucking right there. They were right then. Starks was keeping him in it. And down by 2. How
special was it, speaking of Starks and just Knick legends, how cool was it to see Patrick and Clyde hand Jalen Brunson the conference finals and the finals MVP trophy? I mean, this is special, man. It's just you couldn't design a better New York superstar that is as likable than Jalen Brunson is. I mean, he is like Jeter-esque, Eli Manning-esque, just everything you want, Messier-esque. It's surreal, man. This was a special moment watching this last night for any long-suffering Knick fan. And most Knick fans, they don't remember the 70 championship or 73. The 90s Knicks for many is just something you hear about. I mean, this is the best run we have ever seen, and it is surreal to be talking about a team that I root for that has been mostly bad the entirety of my life do what they have done in these playoffs. Historically dominant basketball.
I'm happy for the youngsters, and this is the stuff that gets me re-engaged. I was telling you before the show, like I've lost a lot of my die-hard edge fandom. For the Knicks, Jets, it's gone. The Yankees were the first to lose it. 15 years ago. Rangers is the only one hanging on, but this is the stuff that brings me back. And I think in the finals, if they re-engage and it's a struggle and they're really overcome, I think we'll see. We'll see what time brings. But yeah, this is the stuff that I love. 100%.
Ladies and gentlemen, today on the show, we're going to be raffling away a signed Walt Clyde Frazier jersey. If you want in, gift a membership or send in a super chat that qualifies. You have this show and this afternoon with Joe Blewett for your chance to enter. When you enter, you'll be
Brooklyn Nets fan, Joe Blewett.
Joe's going to be having to hear me just yell about the Knicks.
Do me a favor and open with a Knicks thing for him. For me, please.
He said if they play the Thunder, because he hates the Thunder so much, he'd root for the Knicks.
Get out of here. I don't believe it.
That's what he told me.
Wow. That's wild. I'll confirm it. I'll come back.
Clyde Frazier jersey up for grabs today. When you enter, you also have a chance to win a signed Joe Klecko helmet, signed Darrelle Revis end zone pylon. And Knicks going to the finals. How about another opportunity later in the week to win a signed Walt Clyde Frazier jersey? Shout out to everyone who's tuned in. Hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Some Jets talk coming up. Robbie, last night I was outside the Garden. It was at American Whiskey. Shout out to American Whiskey, the best spot for any Knick fan who's trying to feel the greatness of the Knicks in the NBA Finals. They'll be doing watch parties for each of the games. But I was there last night. They're right next to the Garden. Come out on 7th Avenue, and look who I run into on the street.
The Knicks go to the NBA Finals. How does that feel, Jake?
I don't know what to say. It shouldn't be this easy. It should not be this stress-free. We're watching this. It's like
the aliens are coming.
They kicked their ass
again.
The entire game, the entire series, since the fourth quarter of game one. It's like this is. I don't know what to say. I don't have words.
It's hard to put words because the way that they're winning is in dominant fashion. You're waiting for them to just come back down to earth, but they never will.
I love this team. I love how they play. Every night it's a different player. It just to make it look that easy. Again, it's not supposed to be that easy, man. This is unbelievable.
It's not.
Here.
You got Knicks fans behind us, absolutely going crazy right now. I look to my left. I see Jake Asman.
Yes.
What are the odds?
Yes.
I'm very happy we can witness this together, Jake. Let's go, Knicks.
Let's
Knicks
go.
in 4, baby.
Let's go. Let's go. 4 more wins. 4 more. Let's go.
Until
Let's go.
immortality.
Let's go.
4 more wins, man. 4 more wins.
That's it.
It's just crazy.
That's it, dude. Look, that you know, that's the opening of the next. I hardly get to create content on Nick X, but I'm definitely going to do something. I told you for fan appreciation in terms of the basketball gods owing Knicks fans this one. No matter, not saying they're getting it, they're handing it to them on a silver platter. No, the Knicks are taking it. They're playing just legendarily well. But on top of it, Knicks fans are owed this one. And 4 wins separates them from legendary status in
Basketball
the Big Apple.
immortality.
That's
Shout out
it.
to David Lee, man. First Knicks game, 2006. Favorite player, David Lee. And here we are in the NBA Finals.
Do you remember the tip, that regular season game where he tipped it? What was it, 0.3 seconds left? Or it was under, right?
0.1. They changed the
was
rule.
it 0.1?
Yeah, remember they changed
The Trent Tucker Knicks. The Trent Tucker.
Maybe it was 0.3. Maybe it was 0.3. But I remember watching that game screaming. Like, I think the Knicks, that game, they put them right at 500. Then Isaiah got a contract extension. Like, this is how brutal it was.
Oh, man. He got an extension right after that?
He got an extension like shortly after. They were the 8th seed, and Dolan extended Isaiah. I mean, this is where we were.
That was the welcome to the playoffs comment year, I think, by Isaiah. Playing the Nets in the first round, and they get swept 3.
No, that was after that.
That was after that?
This was after that, yeah.
I thought it was the first one they returned, but okay.
That pathetic one was embarrassing. Oh,
yeah, that was rough.
Man, what a night. What a night. Let's go, Nick. Shout out to all the Knick fans. Most of you Knick fans are obviously Jet fans, so there's hope. There's hope. The Knicks were more poorly run than the Jets. When you talk about the most dysfunctional franchises in sports, the Knicks were atop the list. Now the Jets find themselves on that list by many. There is hope, folks. There is hope. That's how you gotta look at it.
You talk about the basketball gods. Think about the many, many misses in terms of not being fair. And fair could be defined a lot of different ways by a lot of different people. But 1997, the Knicks had a legit team. They grab Houston. He starts. Starks comes off the bench. 6th man of the year. That was the year where they could have contended with the Bulls. Discounting 93. 93 was a disappointment. But 97, they had a shot. Up 3-1 on Miami. PJ Brown flips Charlie Ward, and they suspend the entire team the rest of the series. Just completely ridiculous. The finger roll from Ewing would have won the game. I think they were down 2. Can't remember. But game 7, 2 giant steps down middle of the lane, just rims out. Elijah blocking Starks 3 from the wing. Starks is hot, just gets a fingertip on it and just gets enough of it and can't get it done. So many just ridiculously unfair moments for fans. So, if anyone bitches about the path and all that stuff, just cite those moments and then cite the last 20 years.
The Knicks, they are owed this, man. They are owed this. And this fan base is as good as any in sports. The one team in the city that can unite everyone. And I see great comment from veteran Jet fan. Can Leon Rose run the Knicks next? Run the Jets next? I mean, my God. Just unreal, man. Unreal. Enjoy it, Knicks
Well,
fans.
to your point, and you brought it up, Leon Rose, to me, his smartest decision, other than Brunson, but his smartest decision in the beginning was getting a veteran coach who knows how to overachieve and get back to basics. Who's
to raise their floor, to bring them back to respectability. This was a build from nothing. The Knicks were nothing. This was not a team that had to tank and they won the draft lottery and they got a Wembanyama. They were, they turned it around with this one great player. Like, they were ridiculed for signing Brunson. They were ridiculed by many for signing Brunson. This team was built, and Leon Rose inherited Julius Randle, young RJ Barrett. You had Elfrid Payton at point guard.
Barrett was brutal.
You hired Thibodeau. You go to the playoffs that first year. You're losing 5 to the Hawks. And from there, they just kept building, making tweaks to the roster. Good player development, right? You draft Emmanuel quickly at the end of the first round. You're able to take him and RJ Barrett, turn that into a player like OG Anunoby. Turn Cam Reddish into Josh Hart. take Jalen Brunson and get destroyed for signing him, and it's the best contract in maybe the history of sports, and it's the best free agent signing, you could argue. It's just
how unselfish was he? How unselfish was he too?
it's crazy, man.
Jake, here's something too that I think is going way under the radar. Mike Brown deserves all the credit in the world. Okay, in terms of, I think, in the most important thing is being receptive and to ideas. Like after game 3, all that story, Cat went to him and said, "We got to do this." And yeah, it reverts more back to last year's offense, but that's who they are. Again, that's who they are, and they did it, and he was receptive to it. Deserves all the credit in the world. But here's the under the radar thing. I think people, it's more of a human nature thing. Making a coaching change like that, it's not about it's even more about urgency than who's coming in, who's getting replaced. It puts everyone on alert and it ramps up the urgency. They saw the path, they saw all the injuries, Halliburton, Damian Lillard, Tatum. Detroit was great, but the collapsed lung with Cade, but they saw the path and they knew urgency had to be there. And I think making that change, it doesn't let anyone hide or go into the corner. It puts the spotlight on them. And for the Rangers fans who remember 94, Mark Messier used to say it all the time. We have to talk about 1940. Don't shy away from it. Own it. Talk about it. That's what we're trying to fix and overcome. And I think this is kind of similar in that vein. I think that move created an urgency that people aren't talking about. And I think kudos to the Knicks front office.
My God, just 11 straight playoff wins. 7th team in NBA history to do so. It's just, it's surreal, man.
I don't even, it's strange.
They're winning by an average of 19.4 points per game in the playoff.
Look, the Hawks aren't a great team. Philly, I still can't believe Philly beat Boston. What the hell's going on with the first round of the NBA East? But Cleveland, it shouldn't be this easy against Cleveland. I'm not a huge, I don't think Cleveland's that great, but still, it shouldn't be like this. It really shouldn't.
No, these are professionals on the other side. Just unbelievable. Yes. Unbelievable. Hit the like button, comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. We'll take plenty of your calls. We're going to talk some Jets as well for those just tuning in. In honor of the Knicks, headed to the NBA Finals. The guy who helped give Jalen Brunson his MVP trophy for the conference finals last night, Walt Clyde Frazier, signed jersey by Clyde, is
Matador
up
D
for grabs. Let's go. And by the way, speaking of Clyde, how cool is it that Mike Breen gets to call all these games, man?
Yes.
I mean, I waited forever to hear Mike Breen call the Knicks go into the NBA Finals. And
that's a happy accident.
Yeah, I'd play it if YouTube wouldn't flag it for copyright infringement. But my God, he nailed the call. So special.
Me and my dad, back in the day in 94, he was a Knicks hater, actually, but he was a Rangers fan with me. And based on luck, we would switch back and forth between the ESPN broadcast and the MSG broadcast in the Stanley Cup Finals all throughout the whole playoffs. Imagine a world where where MSG still had it. That would be tremendous. But the world has changed, my friend.
Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Matthew Volpe, who's the first to enter the raffle today. He re-upped his Asmaniac membership. Thank you, Matthew. Shout out to Rasta Dread, who gifted one channel membership. He's in the Asmaniac raffle now for 1. Well done.
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
Mike Perez checking in. Jake, my brother, just checking. Work schedule changed, so I can't see you live. Congrats to your Knicks. Chick-fil-A on me. Mike Perez in the raffle for 4. Let's go.
Great point, Jake. You hit it right there.
Yes, I did, Rich Cimini. We're going to talk about your OTA takeaways coming up. Doc Jetfed says to the Knick haters, doubters out there, you don't make excuses when you lose. You don't make apologies when you win. Let's go, Knicks. I mean, speaking of excuses and being just a total loser, James Harden's comments after the game last night.
He's a disaster. Always hated him.
He is the antithesis of a losing basketball player.
Yes.
What a total loser. He said, quote, genuinely, I do feel like we are the better team. Loser. Absolute loser.
You don't say that at that time, and I feel bad for Donovan Mitchell because he
was great after the game.
He had no help. Like it was absurd, man. Dude, but sparked. Listen, they quit, and you don't quit even after you give up a historic comeback in game 1. They quit on Atkinson and their teammates. But guess what, Harden? You're the one who sparked the comeback. Just deplorable defense. Can you please do something? Like God, you'd see why they quit, because Harden was that bad, allowing Brunson to just eat him for lunch on every trip in game 1.
Anthony Logerato is a diehard Knick fan who actually won the Clyde Frazier jersey the last time we gave one out. He's in it again. He's in for 5. Let's go.
Say, go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
All right, couple other shout outs here. Let's go to this one from Rick Kent. 10 raffle tickets. Please put me in the raffle. Go Knicks. Oh, hell yeah, Rick. Let's go.
Say, go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
Rick is in for 10. Shout out to Rick. Jets Worldwide, another big Knick fan. Snowball, he's in. Let's go.
Are you a happy guy?
Oh my God, let's go.
Yeah, buddy. Uno Jets in for 2. Jake put me in. Let's go Knicks. Hell yeah, Uno. Matt from L5. Shout out to Matt and everyone with the L5 tailgate. Will be there October 25th for Jets and Dolphins. Be on the lookout for info on that.
They wrote me off. I ain't right back, though.
He is now in our Clyde Frazier raffle for 1. And shout out to our guy Casey here, who I was watching the Knicks with last night. One of the several Asmaniacs who I bumped into at American Whiskey. Casey writes in under the username HXC Dude. Jake, nice to see you last night at American Whiskey. Keep seeing Celtics and Net fans on Twitter making excuses while we swept 2 series and why we're getting the broom in the finals. Pathetic. Let's go Knicks. Let the hate run through those
Celtics
losers.
lost to the Philly, a playing team. I mean, come on.
Enough. You play who's in front of you, and people were talking about the Celtics path being easy in 2024. So I just, I don't want to hear it. Enough. Casey, shout out to you, man. And that was awesome being there with you last night watching that. V-Man says the last time the Knicks made the finals, Peter Jackson had yet to amaze the world with the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Leave it to V-Man for the historical context.
It's true, man. Yeah, Clinton. It was the Clinton administration.
It was the pre-social media age.
Yes, it was. Jeez, God, I'm old.
Mike D's Nuts says, I was at the Trent Tucker game. Let's go.
Yeah, that's what sparked it. On the wing, I remember it. I was too young for that one, but I remember watching replays in the 90s. Caught it, took like a second and a half, shot it from the wing, 3-point, just boom, nailed it. I forget who it was against, but that changed the rule. That created the 0.3 rule.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want in on the Knick conversation, we'll take your calls coming up. Hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Some Jet conversation. And ladies and gentlemen, OTAs are upon us. Thursday, they're open for the media. And our guy, Robby Sabo, will be there to break it all down. Hit it.
It's time for Robby Sabo. Not Ricky Dicky top of the dingo. He's a rubby-dubby-dubby-day-bo. The silver fox, he got hair like a wingo. That's the rubby-dubby-dooby-the-zabo. He got jet points up his freaking wazingo. Let's hear from Robby the Sabo.
That's so good. Now, is that Gator or the other?
That is Gator McCluskey.
It was Gator. Good job, man.
You are the first guest to have an intro. How does it feel?
Intro. Was that Star Fox from Super Nintendo? What Fox was that? I gotta know.
Whatever Fox you want it to be.
I think it was Star Fox. Kudos.
Ladies and gentlemen, some Jet talk, and then I promise we will get right back to the Knicks. So this is inspired from Rich Cimini's awesome article on ESPN.com, where he put together 5 questions for the Jets ahead of OTAs. We will go through each of the questions Rich has and share our own and share our thoughts on what Rich is talking about. The first one that Rich wrote about is about the quarterback for the New York Jets. What will the Geno Smith-led offense look like? Obviously, Geno is going to start the year as the Jets' unquestioned starter. He was brought in to do that. Frank Reich is the new offensive coordinator that Aaron Glenn hired to lead his offense. It's almost like Glenn's the head coach of the defense, taking over that side of the ball. Frank Reich, total autonomy to what the offense is going to look like. What should we expect early on in these OTAs? What are some things you want to see from Geno in this offense?
The ball not hit the floor. And it's a simple thing to say, to think about, but this is, I don't know if it was Bill Walsh, I forget which coach it was, but he would reference that in terms of, okay, when he was asked by a reporter, what do you want to see in a practice, and more so in a practice where there's no physicality. It's just helmets, shells. And he would say, I want to see consistency. It's just the offense flow, the ball not hit the ground. And it makes sense, especially today, because, completion percentage, efficiency is extremely high. So, you're not going up against any kind of 85 Bears defense. There's no physicality. There's no thumping. So just be efficient. Be efficient in your intent, in your short passing game. It'll take some time, obviously. You can't expect it right off the bat, but how often is the ball hitting the floor? That's going to be, I think, what I'm going to be looking for.
Well, we've always hear about, the Jet defense is ahead of the offense. It should be reversed this go around. You have a veteran quarterback, veteran play caller. The offense has more pieces actually returning than the defense does. If you think about it, the O-line's in place. Garrett and Brees are here. You have some of the other complementary pieces like A.D. Mitchell, who's back. Mason Taylor is back. Like, again, if you just look at the total additions to each side of the ball, new starters, there's way more on defense than there is offense. The offense should be ahead of the defense early on.
Agreed. Agreed based on that slant and angle in terms of talent, and agreed based on, if you execute the way you want to offensively in the short passing game, no defense can stop you. And, that is exponentially increased in terms of practice without physicality. So, yeah, don't let that ball hit the turf. That's the mantra.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. This super chat came in earlier. I saved it for when we were going to talk about the Jets offense. Jamal wants to know, how difficult or not difficult will it be for the Jets O-line to transition from heavy RPO QB to a traditional drop back passer?
Not difficult to transition in terms of scheme. That's not a problem. It's the transition is only, okay, it's a little bit more difficult. You don't get the easy outs with the zone read and RPOs. You don't have to, there are certain guys you don't have to account for with that. But in terms of transitioning, it's not, in other words, if a rushing concept team was all gap principled and was transitioning to all zone, which doesn't happen these days, it's a mix of everything with every team, that would be much more of a transition than going from zone read option, RPO to not. And besides, the Jets didn't even go ham with that last year. I mean, they started out pretty well in week one. But once Fields got hurt, they didn't really use it all too much, to be honest. So not too difficult.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. We're going through ESPN's 5 Jet-related questions ahead of OTAs, which will start this week at 1 Jets Drive. Abu Dhabi writes in, hair like Wingo, ... Great reference. No doubt.
I didn't hear that part. Hair like Wingo? Was that, yeah, nice.
No doubt. Abu Dhabi, well done.
Great point, Jake. You hit it right there.
I heard that. I heard that in real time, and I knew you were going to drop it. I knew you were going to save it.
What about this one? Did you hear this in real time?
I only worry about one person's penis, and that's mine. So everybody else's, I don't really care.
I didn't hear that one, no, but that makes sense to save that one. Yeah.
That was Joe discussing all the people like you wearing Speedos at Gangrene Beach Club coming up in, a couple months here, July 11th.
Hey, when you're in a Speedo, there's no place to hide. What could I say?
Ladies and gentlemen, more Jet-related OTA questions to tackle here. I got some of my own that I want to throw Robbie's way at the end after we go through Cimini's OTA questions. Item number 2, will rookie Cade Klubnik be the backup QB? I think he's got a real chance at it, Robbie. They have not signed a true veteran. They have Zappe on the roster with Brady Cook right now. Everything we hear is that they love Klubnik. He started a ton of games in college, and I think they'll use OTAs and minicamp to evaluate whether or not they need to add a veteran by end of July for training camp. I think they're in no rush to do it. All the other teams around the league have backups, so you're not worried about like Cooper Rush signing elsewhere if that's your guy. I think Klubnik's got a real chance here to be QB2 when it's all said and done. You'll be watching him up close this week. Your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think he's got a good chance, but at the same time, don't be surprised if it's pretty up in the air and uncertain, even in late August. Like we can get to a point where, they're rotating the second team reps a lot in camp. And even though we'll have opinions on who's winning the job, maybe you enter week 1 and you're still unsure of who that guy is. That's a definite possibility, but it's not the worst thing in the world. And, unless they sign a vet, which I don't expect. But yeah, Klubnik has a good chance.
I think he should just be the number 2 quarterback. Again, Zappy's the veteran. He's played some games in the league. Not nearly as bad as what I think the perception of him is. If you go back and look at his numbers and how he actually performed in some of these games, I just let him compete with Klubnik. Klubnik, I think, can win that job. And if something happens to Geno, I'd rather just get an evaluation on Cade anyway. I don't think Zappy's saving our season. I don't think Cooper Rush would save our season. I think if Klubnik looks ready, I'm comfortable with him being QB2.
Yeah, same. It's a special circumstance for these Jets. It's not contending team. So in that vein, yeah, do it. You got to open it like GMs in baseball. You got to leave spots open for young guys sometimes, and if you don't, you could really screw the pooch and not give a guy an opportunity. We've seen it time and again. So yeah, I'm cool with it.
Amy wants to know who will be the Jets' backup running back. I think it's going to be Braylon Allen. And I think Isaiah Davis will be the scat back, third down usage, that type of thing. They didn't draft a running back. They haven't signed a running back. I think their running back room is the 3 guys that we all expected to be.
Yep. Every down back, it goes Brees 1, Braylon 2, Isaiah 3. Power back, Brees and Braylon, maybe 1A, 1B, Isaiah 3. And then third down back, Brees 1, Isaiah 2, Braylon 3.
I just don't see any other spot open. I mean, again, Kene Nwanu is on this team. He's technically a running back, but
yeah,
he's there for special teams. Those are their 3.
Yeah, and what's weird about Kene, and I didn't know this about him, but I saw it a lot last year. I didn't love his running back talents in terms of third down back stuff. You'd think he would be pretty solid, but he struggled at times in terms of route running, doing certain things you have to do. Maybe he could improve. We'll see. And that would be nice to get another third down scat back type. But yeah, those are the 3. And you've got to feel good. I mean, Braylon coming off an injury is rough. You can't trust him. But other than that, I think you can't really feel terrible about it.
Yeah, I mean, look, Braylon Allen, I think, is a lot of hype and potential, but we got to see it. This is a make or break year for him.
Can't trust him. But you can trust Isaiah. You just know the ceiling's not crazy high. That's all.
Yep, 100%. And veteran Jet fan, good point. Davis, very good pass blocker.
Yes, dude, he molded himself a role in this league, and he took it seriously. And we saw it last year, him take it on, and he did a really good job at it. Again, Brees is more explosive. He's the better third down back, no question. But it's not Walter Payton 1984 anymore. You need more than one. So Isaiah will definitely be a key piece.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robby Sabo is our guest. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. As a reminder, we are presented by PrizePicks. Download the PrizePicks app. Use the code HMA. Put $5 in, and guess what? Turn that into $50 instantly in bonus bets. Link to download the app is in the description. Bunch of Jet-related future bets that you could fill out and put in your lineup. This one today, I'm going to focus in on our guy, Breece Hall, because we were just talking about the running backs here. Robby, you look at Breece's numbers here. I want you to specifically look at the rushing yards number. Frank Reich, in his introductory press conference, he said, it's no secret we want to run the ball, and he mentioned Breece. Do you think Breece Hall will have more than 975.5 rushing yards?
Jets fans aren't going to like this. I'll say less, but I don't think it's a disaster that he has less. I think they'll be efficient passing, much more efficient passing-wise with Geno. They'll do a lot of design, short passing stuff, but I think Breece Hall's receiving yards will be much higher than 325. I think the 325 receiving yards is going to be much higher. Now, the rush yards, I think mainly maybe he'll miss a game or two and he won't get there, but it wouldn't shock me if he went over that either. That's a tough call.
Tough call indeed. If you want to make your own with any of these Jets, go to PrizePicks.
Now, would you take rushing yards over receiving yards there, if gun to your head, or no?
I'm more confident in the receiving yard number than I am the rushing yard number because of the injury effect.
Yes.
Receiving yards is pretty low. Breece has eclipsed that every year of his career besides his rookie year where he only played 7 games.
Yeah. The argument too, no more Fields. It's Geno. He's not going to be running as much, so maybe that's an argument for the rushing yards. But Braylon Allen coming back too is a wild card. We'll see. If he finishes with 250, 300 yards on the season, that'll eat into it a little bit.
Question number 3 from ESPN's Rich Cimini. Which rookies could make an instant impact? I mean, look, David Bailey needs to make an instant impact. He's the number 2 pick in the draft. Let's start with him.
Impact in terms of pass rushing. You got to impact it right away. And the thing with him, I think that goes under the radar where he could really help a lot more is the PD area, the pass deflection, pass defense feel. Like he showed it. The Oregon game, everyone cites, he had a great game. He stood out. He flashed. There was a lot of plays where he got his ass kicked too. And you got to watch the film to watch that. But the under the radar stuff that you really love on top of the pass rushing is when he felt the play and batted balls down. And he did a couple times, at least 2 times, maybe 3 times in that Oregon game. And the NFL is all short passing. It's design passing. It's efficient. So if you get a guy who's not just a really quick, elusive pass rusher, finesse, who could also feel the play and dissect the play and bat balls down, I think that's the thing that he could really make an impact in most. And, it flies over our head. Okay, pass deflections, blah, blah, blah. But it's such an impactful play. 3rd and 3, quick, sprint out or bubble to the right. If the pass rusher sees it and recognizes it and makes the play happen and forces the play, it's huge. It's massive. So consider that when thinking about Bailey too.
The other rookie that I think could make an impact is obviously Sadiq and Cooper. What their role is to be determined, but I think D'Angelo Pons is a week 1 starter.
Yeah.
So you talk about impact. I think he starts on this defense.
We'll see. I mean, B. Stevens, AZ Thomas, Pons, everyone's slotting him for outside. And I think, they're going to shoot for outside because they love Brownlee. But I want to get him ready for both. I honestly do.
Well, they said they'll cross-train him for both.
Yeah. It's going to be, listen, I don't know his mind. If he's truly has that football IQ and has that instinct bone, he could do both. But I like Pons. He's probably my favorite draft pick from the draft. Cooper, I like too. And I love the Jackson pick too, where they got him. I love the Jackson pick.
Hit the like button, comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Empty T wants to know Sadiq ? The certified freak. Robbie, is Kenyon Sadiq a certified freak?
He's a certified freak, dude.
I was obsessed with Sadiq, certified freak, 7 days a week, certified freak. Obsessed with Sadiq, certified freak, 7 days a week, certified. Obsessed with Sadiq, 7 days a week.
7 days a week.
Certified freak.
Yeah, he's a certified freak. Unfortunately, it's not all about being freaky in football. And
calm your freaky down.
Dude, I need my freaky to get going. It hasn't happened for a while, but it's like tight end's tough. It's really difficult, man.
I only worry about one person's penis, and that's mine. So everybody else's, I don't really care.
That's the rule of thumb, Joe. I agree. That's the rule of thumb. But, tight end transition's really tough, and everyone's sleeping on Mason Taylor. He'll play some receiver, Sadiq. He'll play some moving Y, no question. It'll be tough. I think he's down the list in terms of who's going to make the greatest impact in terms of rookie with this Jets roster this year.
That's what the head coach said. He was asked at the owners' meetings. He was a guy who's going to take the biggest leap, and he mentioned Mason Taylor.
Yeah, he's more balanced. He could do many more things at the position. Now, when you include receiver in there, it's close because Sadiq could also play receiver. You don't want Mason Taylor lining up at receiver. I like Mason. I like Mason Taylor in terms of Sadiq, in terms of the numbers for sure this year.
Happy belated to Mason Taylor. May 8th, he turned 22, so he is still super young. He was drafted at 20.
Yeah, young pup, man.
Which returning players could be fighting for their roster spot? So Cimini talks about Jamie and Sherwood, but says he's not in immediate danger because he's got $15 million guaranteed remaining on his 3-year deal. I think Sherwood's roster spot is safe. I don't think anyone's going to take on that contract unless you eat most of it. And you don't really have much depth behind him. I would just hope DeMario Davis, now calling the defense, could allow Sherwood to play more free and just play off ball and hopefully be the player we saw in 2024. I don't think getting rid of Sherwood makes any sense.
It'll be, yeah, I mean, why get rid of him? You paid him. It'll be interesting to see how he takes to playing Will. There's different names. I don't know how Glenn names it, but the weak side off-ball linebacker of the 2 in the 3-4 as opposed to the 4-3. Does it suit Sherwood that much? You'd think not. Like, classically, he's more of a 4-3 guy. But it'll be interesting because DeMario is heavy enough. He fills. He's reckless abandon enough. He meets him at the LOS where it could take pressure off of Sherwood. Now, the question is when the offense attacks Sherwood, point of attack, as opposed to coming from the backside. How does that work? And you double it up when they attack the weak side, point of attack, with Sherwood at the will and either McDonald or Bailey at the, whatever you want to call it. I call it a jack, edge, the 5th man on the edge, basically on the weak side. That'll be the question. That'll be interesting. But yeah, no, there's no reason to get rid of him. See what you could make and see what DeMario could do for him, for sure.
Andre Sisco, Maisie Smith, Brady McGregor, Arian Smith, the other veterans Cimini mentions who could be in trouble. I think Arian Smith is as on the bubble as you could be because he is giving you nothing as a receiver. He's a decent gunner on special teams, but if he doesn't dramatically improve as a wide receiver, I don't think you just carry him because he's a good gunner. I think that's going to be a tough sell if you just look at the numbers game in that room right now.
Somebody would have to really step up, no? Because you got Garrett, Cooper, Mitchell, Patrick. And Patrick's no guarantee either. We'll see what happens.
Isaiah Williams is making the team.
That's it. Isaiah Williams. I'm forgetting about him. So
I don't think you can keep him and Arian Smith.
6. They can keep 6. I mean, is there another one I'm forgetting about?
Well, it's Garrett, A.D. Mitchell,
Cooper, Isaiah,
Patrick,
and then Arian at 6. Here's the wild card, Sadiq.
We're missing one. I feel like we're missing one. Hold on.
Let me go to the trusty JetX depth chart, which I slave over. You got the young kids, Skinner, Pritchett, Irv Charles,
who's back, and they kept him for a reason.
Yeah, listen, is he healthy? Can they trust him? That might be the battle. It might be Irv Charles versus Arian Smith as a 6th receiver, special teamer-esque type guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Arian Smith's got to do a lot during the spot.
Yeah, let's see. If someone gets injured, he might feel safe. He might be safe. If someone steps up that we're not thinking about, like one of these young kids, Lacey, McLean, Sheffield, then he's in trouble. He's really in trouble. Cisco, I'm not surprised Cimini mentioned Cisco and included him, but
he signed for nothing. He's basically playing for the minimum.
Right, but if I remember last year, Glenn, it was a surprise to me how many positions where he just went with the vet, where I felt like, man, some of the young guys just perform better than them. Like, I was stunned Pritchett didn't make the roster last year.
He kept Xavier Gibson over him, cost him a game.
So, in that mold, like everyone, I feel like is penciling Malachi Moore in for a starting job, right? Next to Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that Dane Belton's going to have a chance to win a job too.
Yeah, at the very worst, Belton would be 3, safety 3. Cisco could easily, and listen, the problem with Cisco is he's more of a center fielder. He's not great in the box. I feel like Fitzpatrick could do both. So if you have guys who could do both, Malachi could do both. They rotate based on motion instead of staying true to high-low. But, don't be surprised if Cisco is the starting center fielder and Minka is the strong safety. I wouldn't be shocked at that. I'll put it that way.
I mean, Cisco was not very good his last year in Jacksonville. He was bad before he got hurt this year, but so was everyone. I mean, you give him a chance because it's, new coaching staff, and the coaching staff was horrific last year. But
I'm not loving it. I'm just based on.
If you're a Jet fan, you hope one of the younger players like Malachi Moore wins the job.
Yeah. Yeah. If we're week 1 and the starting safeties are Cisco and Minka, you're not loving it because Malachi didn't step up. That's a good point for sure.
Last question from Cimini. How is Glenn handling the pressure of being a 3-14 coach? He wrote, quote, Glenn recognizes he made mistakes in 2025 And after self-reflection of the offseason, he's confident he can correct them. Experience is a great teacher. Glenn seems more comfortable in the job, which is what you'd expect in year 2. It might be because he's surrounded by more experienced staff, which he overhauled with input from general manager Darren Muji. He still gets fiery, though. In a recent rookie camp, Glenn didn't like the way a play was run, so he barked at the players and told them to repeat the play. He's intense, man, David Bailey said. He's intense on the field.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that one on here last week or 2 weeks ago, and I said Glenn got in a player's pants. I didn't want to say got in his ass, so I cleaned it up, and the Asmaniacs had a field day, appropriately so. What I want to hear from Glenn is, listen, I have the power, and this coaching staff has the power to make the greatest impact. And he's not going to say it outwardly, just straight like this, but just hints and clues to make the greatest impact for this team, as opposed to, hey, playmakers make plays, players make plays, and putting it all on that. And maybe Reich, Dunbar, Seth Ryan, maybe they do help him in that regard and get him to that mold, that idea, that value in terms of chameleon-like scheming and outthinking your opponent. And those are the clues I want to see and hear, and those hints I want to pick up. And if he's going in that direction, I'll be encouraged.
I just think, of course he's going to sound a little different. He got humbled in dramatic fashion last year. So he still will give you the crazy quote, like superpowers, promised land.
These aren't the same old Jets.
I mean, that was the worst. I thought I went off on that in week 3. These guys aren't the same old Jets, bro. You just lost to the Bucs. You're 0-3. Your season's cooked. You blew a game late. You no-showed the first. Don't get me started.
That's the perfect encapsulation of how the mindset needs to be, tweaked. Like,
lean into it. That's what you say. Until we prove it, we are the same old Jets, and we're going to do everything in our power to prove things are different.
Yes, and on top of it, that's a motivational archetype type thing. And look, they're not the same old. They won't be the same old Jets if you could outthink your opponent more. And I think that's where it begins. It's about, this game has turned into,
if you win games, if you win football games. Yeah, they don't ever win football games.
Outthink your opponent. Put your players in a better position to win. I think that's where it starts.
Hit the like button, comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Here's a question that I have specifically through OTAs. The Jets' base defense. I want to see if we're getting a lot of 3-4, a lot of different variants. That's what I am the most curious about in these OTAs outside of the 5 we covered from Rich. Mine would simply be, speaking of Glenn, he's taken over the defense. What exactly does a Aaron Glenn-led defense look like? Rich wrote about a Geno Smith-led offense. What does an Aaron Glenn-led defense look like?
I think, it's interesting. He's gone back and forth. Not back and forth, but he's mentioned both things. Hey, we're going to be a hybrid. I think it was an in-house Jets communications interview. Maybe Eric Allen. I forget. Prodding him. Will it be 3-4? And Glenn kind of chuckled and laughed, as he does. Like, oh, it'll be hybrid, blah, blah, blah. And then at rookie minicamp, he outwardly said 3-4, base 3-4, when asked where Bailey will play. So he'll be outside linebacker and a 3-4 edge. It'll be a combination of both, but I think the core principle will be 3-4, 2 gap in it, and, react attack as opposed to Salah, which is attack, react, get downhill. And that's fine. I prefer that. That's kind of what I love too. But it's going to be different in the pass, in the sub. And that's going to be attack, react for the most part in passing situations. So I think that's a good place to start. It'll be hybrid. It'll be mixed. But think base 3-4. And then maybe a little bit of penny, tight 5-1 in the sub. But mostly 4 down fronts in the passing downs in nickel.
I know you're excited to see your guy David Bailey do his thing.
Oh, dude, David Bailey's a Jet. I'm rooting for him. I hope he comes away with 18 sacks this year. Let's put it that way.
I know you do.
Yeah, see, people take it so personally. They think because I evaluated the 2 guys, Reese and Bailey, and think Reese is the much better football player, that I hate Bailey. No, I don't hate Bailey. I just think the other guy was far superior. as a football player. That's all. Now that Bailey's here, I want to see him do great. I want to see him win Defensive Rookie of the Year. So we'll see. Let's see if the coaching staff could put him in the right positions.
Here's another OTA related question. If Brian Duker speaks to the media once again, will he look like he's going to poop his pants again?
It's tough, man. It's a tough situation. What was the question where someone was asking, what is your preferred type of scheme? I forget who asked the question. And his answer was something along the lines of, we'll play the best available players. Am I getting that right? Am I remembering that correctly?
The Duke philosophy. Here you go.
What is your philosophy about 3-4 or 4-3?
My philosophy is to play the best players and play good defense.
No, as far as the scheme, the scheme you like to run.
Exactly. Yep. Whoever the best players are, we'll get those out there, and we'll be multiple with that. So I wouldn't tie myself to either of those, really.
Who the hell was that? Leberfeld? Who the hell was asking that question?
It sounded like Leberfeld.
Yeah. You know what that was? That was
pooping himself.
It was maybe.
He's like, oh man,
that was
I've seen that face on Beast many times, times doing this show.
That was a dry one. That was him hearkening back to him and Glenn telling him, "Hey, don't give away anything." That's what that was. Don't give away anything. No one needs to know what we're running, what we're planning. That's my read on it. And I think maybe he could have handled it a little bit differently, but it is what it is. He's the DC, but he's not the architect. So great question by Dan there to put it in the spotlight, but we'll listen to Glenn on the architectural type stuff from the defense.
Here's more from the Duke.
Brian, how do you see that role with AG? You know, he's calling the defense, but how do you what do you see as your role as a defensive coordinator, and how can you help him?
Absolutely. First and foremost, my role here is to help AG, right, and help him put him in great positions that he does a great job calling the game. But outside of that, from the defensive coordinator role, there's certainly some details and some coordination.
That's my favorite part. He gives that look like, yeah, I'm about to drop a pun. He gives watch his eyes again. He looks at whoever. I think it's Kaz who asked the question.
Certainly some details and some coordination of the little things that need to be taken care of, that sometimes just based on the plate of responsibilities that the head coach has, that it helps if someone can handle some of those. So some of the finer details and just some of the little things that I can help stay organized. You know, again, any way I can help him be better, that's what I'm trying to do.
Love it.
He's like, you're a writer, you know, here comes a pun. You're gonna appreciate this. And he strikes me as the type of guy, everyone, like he was your teammate in high school. That's the type of person, you just look at him, you hear him talk. He was your teammate on the high school football team, or you knew him in high school. That's who Brian Duker is. It's tremendous. And it's a great name. Tremendous name.
What exactly do you do? Well, as defensive coordinator, I helped with the coordination of the defense.
Yeah. Book of synonyms. Send it to him for Christmas.
Amazing. All right, Robbie, one final question for you.
Yeah.
This is from Badlands. They posted this on their X account.
Yeah.
My guy Sean, who does some great social work for me, turned it into a graphic. What would the Jets realistically need to do to have a New York Knicks type turnaround?
Hire the right leader, or hope Glenn turns into that right leader. That's it. It's that simple. Like, we don't need to overcomplicate it. That is it.
So you hire the right people, stay out of the way. That's how the Knicks turned it around with the same owner who everyone said was the worst owner in sports. Sell the team. Sell the team. I was at Knicks games where those chants were everywhere. So it's, again, it comes down to the people that you hire and empowering them to do their job if they're the right people.
If Leon goes a different direction and outsmarts himself and goes with someone not Thibodeau, they don't get to a point where it's attractive enough for Brunson to come.
Exactly.
Like, you don't, this tanking nonsense and all this business, like, it's just, we're overcomplicating it, guys.
Robbie, if you don't hire Tom Thibodeau, who helps turn RJ Barrett into a productive NBA player, and they don't draft Emmanuel quickly, you don't have the trade package to offer Toronto to get OG Anunoby. You know, you don't have that.
We just overcomplicate it, man. Like it's, you got to hire the proven guys, and I think to the Jets' credit, to Woody's credit, for all the criticism you could say about Woody, he genuinely wants to win. He wants his fans to be happy and to see winners. There's no question about that. But his failures, I don't think, are from being a disaster and flying off the handle for the most part. It's overcomplicating things, and it's overdoing things and outthinking himself. Just hire the right guy. Like that, I understand why you were so crazed about the head coaching stuff and head coaching head coaching situation this past offseason because of how many guys were available. And I understand it completely. And now, a guy like John Harbaugh is in New York with the Giants. And by the way, a guy named Arvell Reese is too. That'll be fun. So they'll have to experience it firsthand. And I know everyone has their eye on a quarterback in 2027, but that is decades down the road in my mind. Like OTAs matter, training camp matters, week 1, September, October, it matters so much to whether or not they could turn this around. And we'll see what happens.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is the great Robby Sabo. Robby, the New York Knicks are going to the NBA Finals. It is happening.
Someone tell the aliens to wait for another 2-3 weeks until they come, please.
It is surreal what is happening.
Yeah.
Surreal.
Yeah. Oh, I also heard Parkinson say, what are we going to do? A chicken fight? Bailey versus Reese? Me and Tony Vegas versus who was Frankie's team? Damn it.
Frankie V.
Frankie V and Esden, and me and Tony Vegas. I like those odds. I'll roll with that.
Unreal. Robby, you're the man. Appreciate you hopping on as always.
Later.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robby Sabo. Let's play him out properly. Hit it, Gator.
It's time for Robby Sabo. Not Ricky Dicky top of the dingo. He's a rubby-dubby-dubby-dabo. The silver fox, he got hair like a wingo. That's the rubby-dubby-dooby-dizabo. He got jet points up his freaking wazingo. Let's hear from Robby Dizabo.
Shout out to Gator. First ever guest intro. We're working on some other ones too, but that was the first one. So Robby, who I believe is I got to check the first time I ever had Robby on versus the first time I ever had Will on. It's either Will or Robby's the longest tenured guest on this show. Hit the like button. Come meet Robby Sabo and Will Parkinson and all your other favorite Jet content creators. All your other favorite Jet reporters, super fans. Fire and Redhead will be in the house at Gangrene Beach Club. GangreneBeachClub.com to get your tickets for just $25. It is going to be electric. It's going to be unlike anything we've ever seen. Can't wait. Can't wait. End of our shows today. Signed Walt Clyde Frazier jersey is up for grabs. Make sure you enter for your chance to win. The New York Knicks are going to the NBA Finals. I can't believe it, man. 4 wins away from basketball immortality. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Again, the thing that people I don't think understand with the conversation centered around the Jets. Oh, they'll never win with Woody. These same things were said about the Knicks. Trust me, I'm a diehard fan of both of these teams. It starts with getting the right people in place. I like what Darren Muji has done. I think he's smart. I think he's calculated. I think he's got a real plan. The head coach has got to prove himself this year. Because if not, I think Darren Muji is going to get the chance to hire his coach. Just like Leon Rose got to hire Tom Thibodeau and then he got to hire Mike Brown. Decision in real time, I certainly was critical of. I questioned it. Didn't want to mess with what the Knicks had going. They're not here without Tom Thibodeau, that's for sure. But Mike Brown now is 4 wins away from being Buck Showalter to Joe Torre. Rick Carlisle to Larry Brown. Mark Jackson to Steve Kerr. Crazy. You got to have a shrewd general manager, and you got to get the coach right. And in football, it's obviously quarterback. But quarterback, in this case, would be like what Brunson has turned into. You need that 1A superstar. But again, could you imagine what it would be like if the Jets were on a run like the Knicks are on right now? What this fan base would be like? Oh, man. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. But here we are. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Clyde Frazier giveaway on our show. Let's hit some of your calls today. Everything's on the table. Jet and certainly Nick Wise. Bill, start it off. Hello, Bill.
Hey, how's it going? Shout out to Sable. As always, I love his commentary. I do agree with him that Vel Reese was also my favorite going into the draft, but I became resigned to the Bailey talk a couple of weeks before. So I was not surprised when Bailey got the pick. So I'm resigned to it. I hope that it works out well for us. I am curious to see if we'll play any type of 3-4 defense, given the fact that I think we're still short in the linebacker room to make it happen. I know that there's, the June 1st deadline when it comes to certain players being kept by their respective teams. So I was going to ask Sabo if there were any players there that might be acquired by the Jets at the June 1st deadline, if you know what I mean.
Are you talking, like, you're not talking about the supplemental draft, are you?
No. Aren't there a lot of players who have some type of June 1st condition in their?
Oh, I know what you're talking. You're talking
Yeah.
about
The budget cuts, as we like to call them, around that time.
Those get designated well before the actual June 1st. So you could sign those players with a June 1st designation. I don't think the Jets are making another notable free agent signing.
Okay.
I think it could be a veteran trade, like what they did with Harrison Phillips and
All
Javon
right.
Briggs. But again, there's some free agent linebackers I personally would be interested in. Bobby Okereke, Matt Milano. I'd like to add another linebacker to the room if I could pick a position.
I totally agree on that. I would totally agree on that. Shout out to the Knicks. Amazing. They're just wiping the floor with everybody right now. It's amazing what they've done. My view on it is they've been wearing everybody out. They're able to go up and down the floor without tiring out. It's incredible. Other teams just can't keep up with them. So best of luck. I hope they come out champions. And will someone save me from my Mets, please? Please?
At least you have one team that wears orange and blue.
You know, the team in Queens who plays in a stadium that's supposed to remind you of the Brooklyn Dodgers, or their president who's a Mets fan, but he's trying to make them look like the Milwaukee Brewers. Is there something really wrong with just being the Queens Mets? I don't understand it.
Hang in there, Bill.
It's insane. It's insane.
You got one team that wears orange and blue that will make you proud. I can't help the Mets. They are a disaster. But again, for as big of a mess as they might be, they still will give you runs. They've given you more than the Jets have given you. The Mets were in the World Series in 2015. They were in the NLCS 2 years ago. The Jets give you nothing. It's been 15 years. Nice win by the Yankees yesterday, too, for talking baseball. Volpe, big hit, bottom the lineup coming through. Now, 2 straight wins for the Yanks. Tampa's lost 2 straight. Maybe they start to come back down to earth a little bit. But we'll have plenty of time for baseball talk over the summer. Hopefully after a championship parade for the New York Knicks. Leader of Knicks is on the line. Leader of Knicks.
Go
formerly
New York,
leader
go
of Jets.
New York, go New York. What a series. I don't even want to talk that much about the Jets. The Knicks are so incredible. I loved some of your man on the street that you did yesterday. Is that something new for you?
Well, I was just right there, and I ran into Richie, and he's filming everything for his Knicks channel he runs. So
Well,
that's kind of how that came together. But
you said
it's
exactly
crazy.
what I was thinking. It shouldn't be this easy.
Yeah, I'm at a loss for words, man. Again, like it's not that I'm shocked they won the series because I thought they were better than Cleveland, but outside of the historic game one comeback, to really go stress free for these games, for as many in a row as it's been, it's insane, man. I mean, usually they're up at halftime, and then they have a dominant run in the third quarter or the beginning of the fourth, and they put these teams away. Again, in the closeout games, the craziest stat I've heard about this Knicks playoff run, Jalen Brunson in each of the closeout games has not played a minute of the fourth quarter. Not a minute. Again, teams are desperate. They're trying to save their season. You need to be at your best. They say the hardest game to win is the closeout game. And the Knicks, they won by 37 last night, 38, whatever it was. It's insane.
The closeout, technically was even game 3. To watch Brunson at the end, I'm sure you saw when the Cavs just stopped playing and he got that easy layup.
Yep, they quit.
I never seen a team quit like that. Like, you want to talk about a business decision. So I can't say enough good things about the Knicks. Awesome to see the Walt Clyde Frazier jersey giveaway. I got lucky enough to meet him in Miami this year, him and Mike Breen. I got upgraded to a really beautiful hotel in Miami, and it was nice enough that Mike Breen, Walt Clyde Frazier, why can't I think of her first name? McNutt. I can't think of her first name. Monica McNutt. I got to meet all 3 of them. So I'm going to enter in to get the Walt Clyde Frazier. Walt Clyde kind of hit on my fiance a little. Not hit on, but she was holding a backpack, and he grabbed it. He said, "Let me get that for you, sweetie." So a lot of respect to Mr. Walt Clyde. To touch
Let's
on
be
the
honest. You'd give your wife a hall pass for Clyde. Come on.
Can I talk weed on this? Is that okay?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked a lot worse on the show.
My first bong that I had, I don't smoke anymore, but its name, we had to name it, was Walt Clyde Blazer. So Walt gets a pass, okay?
It's actually a great bong name.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Walt Clyde Blazer. Rest in peace to the bong, not Walt. But to touch on the Jets a little, you mentioned something, Darren Muji getting his guy. And I've kind of come around, you're going to get your wish, I think, that Aaron Glenn is fired, regardless of...
Well, I'm not rooting for that. I'm rooting for him to be a good head coach.
Yeah. But, could you see them winning 7 games and him still getting fired?
Yeah. I mean, let's say they have 6 wins going into the last game of the season, and let's say they beat the Bills resting their starters to finish 7-10. Is that a good 7-10? Do you feel good about the you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's just the win total. I think it's the context of who the wins were against and when they happened. Like, they can't start 0-6 and then start winning games. That does nothing for me. You got to be relevant. You got to win games early. You got to win week 1, for example. You got to be relevant and have a real season going into the winter months.
And to tie it into what you were mentioning before about, Tibbs to Mike Brown, you kind of have to make those sort of cutthroat decisions. So even if it is a feel-good kind of success from Aaron Glenn, I do think he deserves a chance with the QB. I just don't think he's going to get it, especially if there's a good head coach on the market.
But he doesn't deserve the chance when it looks as bad as it's looked to this point. Geno Smith's a professional. Geno Smith might be better now than whoever the rookie is they draft to play week 1 of 2027. You know what I mean? Like, the idea that the rookie comes in and is amazing right away, those are rare examples. Not everyone's Jaden Daniels or CJ Stroud as a rookie. So the idea that you're going to add a rookie and it's all good because now Glenn got to pick his quarterback, well, Geno might be better than that quarterback. You might need a bridge for half the year for that guy. We don't know where the Jets are going to be selecting that player. You need to know if you have a coach. You can prove whether or not you're a good coach without having a great quarterback. Then we need to see signs of legitimate coaching to form an evaluation. Like, again, Tom Thibodeau is a really good coach. How do I know that? He took a team that won 30-something games, and they were winning 40-something games and made the playoffs in his first year with Elfrid Payton starting at point guard. Like, you know what good coaching looks like, right?
Yeah.
Chris Banjo had the same limitations Aaron Glenn had from a roster standpoint. He proved he knew how to coach special teams. Good coaching smacks you in the face, to quote our guest, Robby Sabo. I got to see improvement from Glenn before I give him a chance to oversee the development of a rookie. No way. The job's attractive a year from now. I could get a real coach.
And the nightmare scenario would be them holding on to him. They get the rookie quarterback, and then they fire him halfway through the rookie's year, and then the rookie has to get a whole new coaching staff, whatever the case. So it might end up being where even if he has a solid season, and that it's kind of changed what I've felt, the outlook. But that's what feels like the most likely scenario and what Muji would do. To touch on Tibbs, I've always thought he's a great coach. He could get a bad team to good, but he can't get a good team to great. And I think that was always his thing. It's kind of crazy to look at like what this Knicks roster is. It's not that different from last year. Like Landry Shamet was there. Obviously Clarkson was there, but a lot of these players getting minutes now.
Clarkson wasn't there. Shamet
was not there. Yeah.
Yeah. And he didn't play him a lot. Look, I mean, I think the bench in general is a lot better than what Tibbs had. Mitchell Robinson played most of the year, right? He played 17 games in the regular season last year. It was also year one of this core. They made the Karl Anthony Towns trade the eve of training camp. Like, there's something to be said for this group going through last year, right? Like, that's why I rather play the Spurs from a Knicks standpoint. You don't typically just go to the playoffs and then win right away. Like, Wembanyama's never played in the playoffs. He's just going to go all the way to a championship. He might. He's that special, but I'll take my chance against the more inexperienced team. Like the Pacers 2 years ago got swept by the Celtics in the conference finals. Then they took a step forward and took OKC to 7 last year. Like usually in the history of the NBA, Jordan had to go through the Pistons, right? LeBron's first finals, he got swept. He had to lose the first one against the Mavs before it clicked for him. Usually it takes teams some adversity. They got to lose before they can win it. That makes sense. And I think the experience the Knicks gained from going all the way to the conference finals last year, winning around, going around further each of the last 4 years, now 5. I think all that has kind of helped them to be the team they are. But Mike Brown deserves an enormous amount of credit because we've never seen a team operate at this level, especially the Knicks. They've never played better collectively as a team. So
I want to get a Mike Brown jersey. Like, I want this shirt to be Mike Brown instead of Brunson. Like, he really, really, if there's any form of, merch or memorabilia that you can get for a coach, maybe a Mike Brown bobblehead, he deserves it. Like that's my guy. It's really incredible. The switch that they made, which coincidentally, as I've let you know, coincides when I was in attendance in Atlanta. 11 straight since then, Jake. Things are related. Okay.
You're going to spend $5,000 to go to a game at Madison Square Garden?
Put me in the hole. Maybe people will donate. We'll see.
Here's your look at tickets, man. The most expensive ticket in the history of New York sports.
Do you think you'll go?
Is that? I'm hoping I could go through work.
Yeah.
That is my path. Or I might have to fly to OKC or San Antonio.
Let's see these numbers.
The most expensive ticket in the history of New York sports will be if the Knicks are up 3-2 with a chance to clinch their first championship since 1973 in Game 6 at the Garden. That will be the most expensive ticket in the history of sports.
I don't know if this was AI slot, but I saw there someone bought 2 courtside tickets. It was just over $500K, and they were listing house. Is that what courtside seats are going for?
No, this is just the get in, man.
The get in price. I don't see anything up now. I think get in's $5,000.
Yeah, 34.85 on TickPick, 3,400 for Game 4, Game 6, almost $5,000.
Get in price in Cleveland last night was $100.
That's why 70% of the building was Knicks fans.
It's crazy. Back to Spurs OKC. I think the Spurs are a piece away. I just don't trust the Aaron Fox. Castle's awesome. He's a little bit offensively limited, but I think that'll come. But the team, the Spurs will add someone or they'll develop someone. Harper will really become more of a player, but I definitely rather play the Spurs. I'm not the biggest Wemby fan. I know it's really impressive. I don't know how much you're consuming the NBA outside of him or outside of the Knicks, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel like regular basketball to me. I'd much rather watch a traditional player. I know that maybe I'm a hater, but
he's an alien, man. We've never seen a player like him.
Never. It's kind of funny. I feel bad for Chet. For me, Beast hates me. Okay. That's a good enemy to have. What is Beast going to do to me? If Wemby hates you, that's the worst person on earth to hate you. And he's got this mean streak. He makes Chet's life terrible, so I kind of feel bad for him. I wonder what tonight's going to look like. It's a good spot for the NBA. Let's go Knicks. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the leader of Knicks, formerly leader of Jets.
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
Oh my God. Walt Clyde Frazier jersey up for grabs on the show. Gift the membership like leader of Knicks said he was going to try and win a Clyde Frazier jersey. And we know the answer. Leader of Knicks would absolutely give a hall pass to his wife for Clyde. There's no doubt. More of your calls, shall we? This guy is pumped about his Knicks. Control-Alt-Delete is on the line. Hello, CAD.
Jake, it was about time, dude. Come on, man.
Let's go. Let's go Control-Alt-Delete. About time you called in.
I know. Hands up accountability. My bad. But listen, you're the Jets guy. I'm the Knicks guy, all right? I just want to let you know I was in my family room with my brother and my parents, and we were watching this game. Dude, I was literally sitting there like in shock. I've never seen a Knicks team this good before, ever in my life. I mean, if you look at this entire team, like it's insane. I can't believe it. Now, I was very concerned with the way Bridges was playing in the beginning of the playoffs because he was a little shaky, but he picked it up. He was huge. Yeah, dude, go Knicks. This is insane. I can't believe you were at the games. I'm jealous, dude.
Enjoy every second of this because who knows when one they'll ever be back, and two, like the level of dominance they're playing. We will if they actually pull this off and win the championship and the way they're playing right now, they could beat anyone. Let's call it for what it is. I don't care who they play. They could beat anyone. If they pull this off, you'll be talking about this Knicks team forever because it is just it is historic what they're doing, and they've not won since 1973. They're on the precipice of doing it. It's surreal.
So it's so bad. It's so bad. But the one thing that you have to be concerned about is like, okay, we won the Eastern Conference Finals. Incredible. We beat the shit out of Cleveland. Like it wasn't even close, right? Now you got these two juggernauts. You got San Antonio and you got OKC, right? So here's the problem. You got San Antonio, you have to keep Wemby on the perimeter. You don't want him near the paint because that's where he's most demoralizing. You have to treat him like a point guard. You got to treat him like Curry. Let him shoot. Obviously, you got to put it in his face. We'll probably put Mitchell Robinson on him, I assume, and you have to throw Cat in on him. The only problem is Cat is he draws stupid fouls all the time, and it's honestly hard to watch. But if you keep Wemby on the perimeter, we will win. Now, when it comes to OKC, I mean, I can't stand OKC because Shea is every shot he takes, he flails his body and they call a foul every 2 seconds, which is out of control. Like, I don't even understand how that's allowed. I don't even know if you saw this, but did you see that Caesar Sports on Instagram? They posted a stat of like D Wade shooting like 20 free throws in the finals and like a closeout game or something like that. I could be wrong. There was some stat where they were just pulling up past finals where people were taking enormous amount of free throws. Back in the
I never know what the stat was. We lost Control-Alt-Delete. You probably got a phone call. If you call him from your phone, put it on Do Not Disturb. Because if your phone goes off, that's what happens. Leader of Jets, a man of his word. Walt Clyde Blazer. He's in the Asmaniac raffle for 2.
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
Control-Alt-Delete. Did you get a call? Are you there?
You got me?
I got you. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb.
Dude, I don't know what happened. Hold on. Wait. For some reason I have you muted. This is brutal.
Can you hear me?
Hold on. 1 second, Jay. Give me a second.
Can you hear me?
My tech guy there. Beast, you there? Beast? 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 We need a tech guy. He might be sleeping. I can't tell if he's over there. We're going to sound the alarms. Lower your volumes if you got headphones in. 3, 2, 1. Beast.
473. TK. 473.
Wake up. I need a tech guy. Get up.
473. TK. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473. 473.
TK427234.
Put a light on. I need a tech guy. Control Alt Delete's having tech issues. Put a light on.
That's bad water. Bad water in the morning. Bad water. Good fall, Pete, huh? Who is this?
Good. Ooh. Control Delete, dude.
Yeah, and who am I? TK427 at your base. What's your post?
My post. Jake.
Yeah, that's right, your post.
Can you hear me? Wait, hold on. Get a towel. I got you. Get a towel. There you go.
I feel ill. Well, what do you expect? I was trying to catch up on my. How do you like this? Knicks in uno, dos, cuatro, tres, cuatro.
Love to see it. Are you
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
Good job by Beast there, solving the tech issues with Control Alt Delete.
Jake, it keeps muting every time it does that. I don't know why.
Goodness. Can you hear me? Beast,
So
work
weird.
your magic again.
Hold on.
Go right here.
There we go.
This.
Now I hear you.
Control, delete, and escape.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
All right. Good job, Beast.
Oh. All right, so back to what I was saying. When it comes to OKC, right? If they're hitting, we're going to have a very tough time. That's why I'm praying San Antonio wins. But we have to keep Wemby on the perimeter. One person I'm scared of, if it comes to San Antonio, Dylan Harper. Whoever doesn't know who Dylan Harper is, you got to watch film on this guy. He is incredible. He's a rookie. He was the second overall pick. He came from Rutgers. I mean, his game is outstanding. I'll put it to you this way. I understand, like you were saying before, like we would rather go with the team that has less experience. Obviously, I think we're a better matchup when it comes to San Antonio, but with OKC, I don't know. I mean, do you think we have a better chance against OKC or Spurs?
Well, I think the Spurs, but it depends on the health of these teams. Again, I'm rooting for a 7-game series. I mean, the game 5 tonight is critical. If the Spurs could actually get game 5, I think they're going to win the series. The game 5 winner wins like 80% of the time in NBA playoff history. So it's gigantic. It's going to be, look, at either matchup, the Knicks, I'm sure, will be an underdog, but I think they could beat the Spurs. I feel more confident in that because, again, just experience matters, man. This would be the first time for the youngest team to ever reach a conference finals. Now it'd be the youngest team to ever reach an NBA finals. I like the Knicks' chances. They're veteran laden. They've handled adversity. They've been there, done that. They'd have a huge rest differential, but we'll take either one. And again, if it is OKC, you'll actually get most of the country rooting for the Knicks because people hate the way the Thunder play.
Hold on, Jake. I think I can't hear you. I don't know why.
I give up. I got to move on. Good attempt. Well, call back, download the StreamYard app. Do that. Hit the like button, comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Stefan is next. Let's rip through some calls before we wrap. Hello, Stefan.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me. Enjoying the games?
No, I hate them.
That's fair. You know, if you were who are they even playing right now? If you're a Cavs fan, I definitely understand that. But I'm not even a big Knicks fan, but I gotta enjoy some good New York basketball.
Party like it's 99, Steven.
I've been trying not to watch because historically the teams I watch and root for never do well.
Well, why do you think that is?
You know, I think it's me. I think I'm cursed. You know, I my wife's a Celtics fan. I decided to root for her one game. Tatum immediately blew his Achilles, and I was like, you know what? I'm done rooting for. I'm done picking up new teams to root for. I'm just gonna settle in my filth.
Well, I'll tell you what. As long as the Knicks keep winning, you're allowed to watch. But the second they start trailing, turn it off. All right.
Oh, yeah, no, I put it on when you guys were up like 25 last night at the start of the second quarter. They immediately closed the gap a little bit, so I turned it off and went right back up.
You know what? I can actually respect that. Thank you very much. Good job.
And, I'm scrolling on Twitter and watching all you guys react is enough for me. I'm loving the energy from the Knicks fans right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stefan.
Just leave a message. Just leave a message. Thank you.
Beast, how we feeling?
Can we say Knicks in 4 again? Or should I say, did I pass the spelling test, Mrs. Healy? Whoa, did Spike knock him back into the 6th grade? Whoa. TK426783. Do we have my... I got to go take a shit right now.
Enlightening comments there from the Beast. Super chat from Big Fella. Leader of Knicks. His name should be Evil Richie Stickers. I can't unsee it. Does leader of Knicks look like Richie from Jets Media? Interesting comp. Let's review the tape.
The Knicks go to the NBA Finals. How does that feel, Jake?
I don't know what to say. It shouldn't be this easy. It should not be this stress-free. We're watching this. It's like, does it ever get competitive? They kicked their ass
again.
The entire game, the entire series. Since the 4th quarter of game 1, it's like, this is... I don't know what to say. I don't have words.
It's hard to put words because the way that they're winning is in dominant fashion. You're waiting for them to just come back down to earth, but they never will.
I love this team. I love how they play. Every night it's a different player. And just to make it look that easy, again, it's not supposed to be that easy, man. This is unbelievable.
It's not.
Here.
You got Knicks fans behind us absolutely going crazy right now. I look to my left. I see Jake Asman.
Yes.
What are the odds?
Yes.
I'm very happy we can witness this together, Jake. Let's go, Knicks. Knicks in 4, baby.
Let's go. Let's go. 4 more wins. 4 more. Let's go.
Go, New York,
go, New York, go, New York, go. Go, New York, go, New York, go.
I think if leader of Knicks lost a little weight, I could see it. Leader of Jets says, show me. Maybe if I say we agree. Maybe if I don't think you need to lose 50 pounds. Maybe like 20. And Banks says, I just realized you're pretty short. You just realized that I'm 5'8". I'm not tall. The worst is when I stand next to O'Leary at any of these things. Oh, God. The man's 6'7". Bad joke. All right, more calls before we wrap this baby up. Matt, L5, Matt Siegel on the line. Hello, Matthew.
What's going on?
How we feeling?
Nice hat. We were, I don't know, we were texting last night, and you're right. It just doesn't feel real. It's crazy. Like, it hasn't been competitive. So it's just, like, I don't know how to even wrap my head around it.
Dude, these have been parties, man. And, like, being out at, like, bars watching these games, and it's just, like, it's unreal, man. It is truly an out-of-body experience watching how dominant they have been. The only adversity they faced was the game 1. They have the historic comeback. And it just completely broke Cleveland.
Yeah. And to be honest, living in Philly, it's been that much better. Just like watching them sulk around the city as I'm just like going out to the bars, watching the games. They don't even like pay mind to me anymore as I'm celebrating in their bars. So it's pretty great. We texted last night, though, about like if this was ever the Jets. And it's like I can't even comprehend that because it doesn't feel real. And I just know how much more psychotic I am probably about the Jets just because of how far it feels like we are right now. It's an incredible time, and 4 more. Job's not finished.
No, it's not done yet. And it's so true. I mean, I pictured this like from a Jet standpoint. Like just it would have to be so stressful. Like I'd have an aneurysm trying to watch it.
They wouldn't make it easy on us.
The Knicks fan is just that was the Knicks, though. Like the Knicks always played with their food, and they didn't dominate the way they should. And it always felt like the talent, they hadn't hit what they could be as a team. We saw flashes of it in the regular season or the NBA Cup against San Antonio, ironically. But we didn't, and like to have basically everyone who plays play their best version of basketball all at the same time. Just does not happen in sports.
Last year, we were like holding on to a thread, like hoping we were staying healthy throughout the playoff run, like playing with 6 people max throughout the playoffs all season. And this year, it's like we're winning by 30. Like it's not even competitive. So I'm like waiting. Like I know the finals is going to be more competitive. And I'm just like hoping that, you know, they stay sharp because we saw it in the first game. And the Spurs or OKC are the 2 best teams we're going to play all postseason. So like one game at a time. But yeah, it doesn't feel like it's been competitive, which is terrifying. as a fan of teams who just always disappoint. So, just one game at a time, take this 9-day rest, watch the Yankees, hopefully stack some wins. Jets get into OTAs, and Cade Klubnik, since we drafted him, Knicks are undefeated. So
11-0 since the Jets drafted Cade Klubnik.
All right. Yeah. Hey, maybe he's the guy.
Week 1 in Nashville. You ready?
Oh, we'll be there. I can't wait. It's going to be unreal. I'll be at all your events that hopefully you're planning out, and we're gonna have a big show out because it is a must win.
It is a must win. It really is.
Must win.
Matt, you're the man. Enjoy this Knicks run.
Yep. Take care.
Matt Siegel, one of the architects of the L5 tailgate, one of the best tailgate spots at MetLife for every Jet fan year over year. More of your calls. Nate on a bike in New York City. Nate, parentheses Nate, a huge Knicks fan. Hello, Nate.
Jacob, how you doing? Actually, that's a dumb question. I know how you're doing.
Yes, sir.
Please tell me Black Gypsy's on the line.
He's not, but you definitely could take
right.
victory. You definitely
I know
can.
he's running. I was going to be blamed last year for every single loss and for not making the finals. I think you had a couple takes, too, about the Tom Thibodeau era.
5 years. And this is a major mistake by Leon Rose and James Dolan.
Okay. You were just saying it was a major mistake. I had it queued up in the background. Dude, what we've seen is so beautiful. We scored 130 points last night without anyone scoring 20, which is absolutely glorious. And to that self-proclaimed Knicks, who was that guy? Control-Alt-Delete?
Control-Alt-Delete.
Jake, you gotta end task a little bit faster. Once you do Control-Alt-Delete, end task, shut that shit down. If we could keep Wemby out of the paint, that's like keeping me off a bicycle. We can't keep Wemby out of the paint. He's 7'6". He's gonna eat. He plays like, it's kind of wild to see an offensive player just throw the ball off the backboard. Like when he gets stuck in the air, he can throw it off the backboard like he's playing with third graders. But I'm also with you at the same time because I'm scared of the Thunder and the referees, and I'm scared that they'll get Brunson 3 fouls. The refs can change the game. We've seen it with OKC. I don't know why they get every call. They seem to be almost choreographed with like the timing of how they flop. But like, it's not just SGA. Like that whole team is a Broadway show, and I don't really want to see that Broadway show on 7th Avenue. I can see us losing game 1 or game 4 and then talking for the next 40 years. Just like Patrick Ewing's layup, right? You know how Knicks still talk about that finger roll, and he should have went off last. Like, I'm already feeling that with SGA. Like if he didn't get those 3 calls in the last minute where nobody touched him and we were out of challenge, whatever it is, I'm entirely scared of the. And then at the same time, like if you're gonna face Wembanyama, who's probably gonna win multiple championships, now's the time to jump at him. You know,
exactly.
It's like
He's in his first
right
playoff.
now. He doesn't even know he's good. Sorry.
He's literally in his first playoff run right now, and the Spurs are like the youngest team that's ever reached the conference finals if you look at age. So your best chance to beat them is now, and they don't have championship experience like the Thunder do. So I much rather play San Antonio. I think the Knicks have a chance against either. I really do, but I just think the Spurs they offer a better chance if you're making me pick of the Knicks actually winning 4 more games.
And I know leader of Knicks alluded to it, but I think the biggest difference we can all agree is the coach. That's really, they came back with their same team, and their system is completely different. Like what we're seeing out of Cat, you didn't see in Minnesota. Obviously, Tibbs had him there. You didn't see here.
You didn't see it in the regular season though either. That's what's so amazing.
Yeah, but all right, I've had this conversation with other people, which is, it might just be a dumb theory, Jake. The NBA regular season, obviously, we know it literally does not matter at all, right? No one cares about seedings. Just get into the playoffs, and whoever's healthiest and playing well for this, it could be like a 30, 40 game run, this playoff series. I think, and this is just a wild theory, it's an 82 game preseason. Why would you show your cards? Why would you show your offense? Why would you show anything? Just play basketball until the playoffs. And you're seeing that with the NBA Cup that happened a couple years ago. The NBA has to find ways. They're finding players all the rest days, and they're finding ways to try to make the NBA regular season worth it, but they've already ruined the regular season. It's 82 games. More than half the teams make the playoffs. They have the NBA Cup to play in tournament. There's no reason to go after all 82 games. Look what happened. You had 7, 8 teams. Almost a third of the league was tanking. So you either make the playoffs or you're tanking. Like, I mean, that's a totally separate conversation. The NBA has a serious problem. But if I'm one of the teams, like you and I could have probably wrote down the 16 teams in the playoffs before the season, and we would have hit on 90% of them, right? But you know the Nets and the Jazz and all the terrible teams that are going to try to tank. And unfortunately, I think there was a team with 17 wins that ended up with the 6th pick. It's ugly, the regular season. But my theory is that they're saving it for the playoffs. This is a whole new season, and this is the season that counts. You know, it doesn't matter whether the Knicks won 50 games, 60 games, 48 games.
Well, I think there's definitely something to that. I also think they were down 2-1 against the Hawks, though, right? And just something clicked. And sometimes in sports, like, you just can't explain it. And everyone is just bought in. Very rarely do you get everyone playing at their very best all at the same time. And that, and in terms of coaching, Mike Brown deserves an enormous amount of credit for that, because it was a huge risk to move on from a proven, really good coach to hire a guy when you're coming off your first appearance in the conference finals in 25 years. But he's been sensational. He's 4 wins away from being, you know, Buck Showalter to Joe Torre, Mark Jackson to Steve Kerr.
It's true.
He's right there.
Jay, can I ask you this question though? Since you were a Tibbs guy last year, what adjustments? What did Tibbs do well in the playoffs to justify keeping him as a coach?
I think the Knicks just handled adversity well with him. Like they
What is that really? But on the basketball court, he never changed anything. It was drop coverage while guys shoot threes in your face. It was Brunson ISO ball, Cat ISO ball, and let OG and McCall. You're seeing the talent that's on the team. He turned them into Max Strus. He told OG and McCall, stand in the corner and don't do anything. That was such a problem to me. When you're paying a guy $35 million, they got the talent OG does. And you're seeing now when OG gets to 20 points, what's the Knicks record? They're almost like undefeated this year. And it's beautiful to see the off the ball movement, the cutting. That was not Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau doesn't know. He wanted everyone to stand still and watch the best player on the court go. So it was just so frustrating to watch.
Well, I think
the
multiple
Pacers
things
last
could
year.
be true, though. You could be critical. I think your criticism is too over the top of Thibodeau, while also Mike Brown should get a tremendous amount of praise. Like the Knicks aren't here without Thibodeau. Like it took them out of the trenches. Like they were in NBA hell. And he helped get them out of that.
But there's a reason why your third grade coach isn't your college coach, right? Because some people are really good at up to a certain point, but he did never really, modernize himself with the NBA. But
I don't know, man. I think if they win game 1 against Indiana last year, the whole series could have been different, right? I mean, they took a historic meltdown, and
they just should have lost.
Again, like you were anti-Tibbs. They hired Mike Brown. Mike Brown's been great. I'm thrilled that I'm wrong that this has worked. I am thrilled as a Knicks fan. Believe me.
Now let me ask you this question, because Cleveland has the same resume that Tom Thibodeau has. Penny Atkinson took over first year, won a playoff series, and then this year made the push and got them to the Eastern Conference Finals. You're the Cavaliers. Are you keeping Penny Atkinson just because for the same Thibodeau reason, right? He got him out of the mud. They got him got Donovan Mitchell into the Eastern Conference Finals with this core. Are you keeping Penny Atkinson for the same reasons?
I don't think it's really the same thing, though, because a year ago Cleveland was like a 60-win team that lost in the second round. Like the Knicks never underachieved the way Atkinson's teams have.
But they went to the Eastern Conference Finals. They did better this year than they did last year.
Yeah, but they also got swept. So like the context of how you play also has to matter. And I
so
think
then the fact that then Tom Thibodeau won 2 more games last year is the reason why he should have stayed. But so if Kenny Atkinson would have won 2 games.
No, I think Tom Thibodeau should have stayed because he took over a terrible situation. The Knicks got better each of his years, and they made the Cat trade on the eve of training camp. So I wanted to give him 1 more year with this core before taking a risk that a new coach wouldn't get you back to at least the same place. Obviously, the Knicks took the risk and it's worked. Thank God it's worked. As a Knicks fan, I'm thrilled, but I don't really see the correlation between Kenny Atkinson and Tom Thibodeau at all.
I'm seeing them for the reasoning. Like when we talked about the reasoning of keeping Tibbs last year, you were saying it was because he made it this far, because he took them here, because he made it here. But there was no basketball reasons to keeping Tibbs. Like I said, what playoff adjustments? What did you see in the playoffs that made you want to?
I think
there
were basketball reasons to keep him. They got to the conference finals. They upset.
That's not a basketball reason. That's the success of a team. What I'm saying. What did you see in the playoffs?
He's putting guys in position. You act like he just sits there and does nothing, and they just magically win in spite of him. I don't think that's fair to Thibodeau.
No, but Thibodeau is a guy that gets his teams to play really hard in the regular season.
Why is this your take today? If you're like, you should be thrilled that the Knicks are here, and like Tibbs is the major reason why they're here in the first place. And thank God it's worked with Mike Brown.
Jake, what we're seeing is the exact same roster, because sports isn't this black and white usually, where a team can bring the exact same roster and literally break records. You're seeing the best 11-game stretch
but they also
in
have
the history of basketball.
Experience and another year of playing together.
Jake, it's the best 11-game stretch in the history of basketball. And the coach made no adjustments last year.
It's been amazing to watch. There's no doubt. But a year ago, Indiana beats the Knicks, right? The year prior, Indiana got swept in the conference finals, and then they took a step and went to the finals. You know what I mean? Like sometimes like success is not always just a straight arrow up. Like you got to go through things. And I think while Mike Brown certainly deserves an enormous amount of credit, a big reason the Knicks are here is because they went through what they went through last year.
I'll say this: if I think if Mike Brown was a coach last year, they probably sweep Indiana, and they're having this type of success. He makes adjustments. He plays the modern NBA game, and he grew up in the same era that Tibbs did. So Tibbs I think will never win an NBA championship for that reason, and we'll see. I mean, he might not get another job, but there's the Bulls and 2011, 2012. That was his best chance before all this 3-point shooting happened.
Derrick Rose tore his ACL. It's not Tom Thibodeau's fault. They were the 1 seed and he tore his ACL.
No, I know. So there can be an excuse for Tom his whole life, but let's hope there's not an excuse for Mike Brown this year. He took the same roster, and they're playing a totally different sport, right? Cat looks like a new player from last year.
Nate, he's done a great job, but I think you don't need to shit on Tom Thibodeau on the day the Knicks go to the finals. You could be excited about Mike Brown.
No, I'm not. I'm calling the Jake Asman show. I'm shitting on Jake Asman and Black Gypsy and everyone who was saying that, like, oh no, Tom Thibodeau, he took him this far, but there was basketball reasons why a lot of people didn't want him in the finals.
They would not have swept Indiana if
we don't know that.
Of course we don't know. Just like you don't know that Tom Thibodeau couldn't have taken this team and went to the finals as well. We'll never know. I'm choosing to be thrilled about Mike Brown and also acknowledge Tom Thibodeau went out there and he helped the Knicks be put in a spot where they are in a championship contender in the first place. Again, look at the roster that Leon Rose and Tom Thibodeau took over. And the player development, you say, oh, Tibbs didn't do anything. They saw something in Jalen Brunson. They saw something in Josh Hart. R.J. Barrett played his best ball to that point in his career with Tibbs. Dante DiVincenzo, the same thing. Signing him playing his best ball. Randall going from a guy that Knicks fans hated the signing to a guy who was a multi-time All-Star with the Knicks. Turning those guys into the trade package for OG, the trade package to get Cat. We could walk and chew gum at the same time. We could say Mike Brown was exactly what this team needed. He's got them clicking, playing offense at the highest of levels, and also acknowledge that Tibbs did a great job. But to choose to call into the show on a day the Knicks are going to the finals to try and have a Thibodeau debate, who cares? Just like Buck Showalter gets so much credit for the Yankees turnaround in the 90s before Joe Torre. Same thing could be said for Tibbs. They're not here without Tibbs. Again, the Knicks were in the abyss. They were an irrelevant franchise that stunk. And he got here in his first year and he took them to the playoffs with a very similar roster to the one the Knicks had the previous year. Elfrid Payton starting at point guard for that team. Reggie Bullock. Derrick Rose was their best player in the playoffs in that series against the Hawks, an aging Derrick Rose. I'm thrilled Mike Brown is this team's coach, but I'm not going to bash Tom Thibodeau. I'm just thrilled we got Mike Brown. Let's say hello to another diehard Knick fan. Ladies and gentlemen, the king is on the line.
He's the king.
It's been too many years, fellas, ladies and gentlemen. Jake, my brother, it's always good to see you, my brother. I'm so excited right now, man. I didn't want to call in while this historic one was happening because, I didn't want to jinx anything by coming on here acting a fool and, saying a whole bunch of what the Knicks is gonna do and get the brooms out. But hey man, we here, man. 27 years, baby. 27 years, and we back in the finals. Okay? This is it, baby. This is our champ. Let me just say this first and foremost, man. I know Neil don't like to talk about no other team on this Jets podcast, man. And I get it, Neil. But you gotta understand, baby, we long suffering too over on this side, baby. The next 27 years back in the finals. Yo, it's surreal, man. I'm just at loss for words, man. This is it, baby. This is our chip. This is where I don't care who comes out the West. I don't give a damn. You can talk about Wimby, the alien, all of them bums. I don't care. We beat them bums for the cup final. I got on the cup championship shirt. You heard? We already whooped them bums, and we'll do it again. Don't talk to me about no OKC, CIA, SGA, the PGA. I don't give a damn. Okay? That's that same team that was down to the zesty Halliburton Pacers. I don't want to hear it. Don't tell me the Knicks are not better than them zesty Halliburton Pacers. Okay? I don't want to hear nothing. You heard? Hey, Nate, I love you, dog. Don't come up here the day the Knicks won the finals talking about Kenny Atkinson. We don't care nothing about the analytics and what the analytics say. We don't care. We in the finals, baby. You heard? We don't care nothing about that. 27 years, we back in the finals, baby. You heard? Knicks all the way, man. This our year. We winning a chip. Man, shout out to Jake, man. Shout out to the chat, baby. Hey, man, I've been crying all night. I ain't got no voice. I don't care. I'll see y'all in New York for the parade. I already got my ticket ready. I'll see y'all week 1 in Tennessee. I'll be there. You heard? Man, JTS! Yes! Let's go next! This our year, baby! Win the chip!
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
10 out of 10. No notes. Perfect call. Love it. Love it. 27 years, and the Knicks were just so bad for so many of them. Just totally irrelevant. Andre, they were made fun of in that Pixar movie, Soul, whatever it was called. Like they were the butt of every joke. Much like how the Jets are. And it can change. My God. 4 wins away. 4 wins away. Hit the like button if you're just joining us. Walcott Frazier jerseys are giveaway on the show. Enter the raffle for your chance to win. We got a couple of you who still want in on the conversation. Few calls to go. If you want to enter the raffle, now is certainly the time. Let's say hello to Adam, who is up next on our program.
Adam is cool, although kind of basic. He claims he's too cool, though often quite basic. He makes great jet points, looks a little basic. Adam is cool, too cool, but basic. Some would say generic.
Hey, Jake. Happy day, man.
Very happy day, Adam.
So I'm happy for all the Asmaniacs that are Knicks fans that are just eating it all up. I was with you guys in terms of long-suffering fan base looking for a win with Indiana. This is what that feels like. So
Yeah.
Savor it. Enjoy it.
Similar, man. Indiana was looked at as like the worst college program. With
It was the worst.
Yeah, right.
Statistically.
History.
Yeah.
Crazy,
And
man.
it turned around, and it was a joyride. If you have the means to go see a game, Go see a game. You're going to regret not, right? Last time this happened was in the 90s. I couldn't buy any tickets. I was a little kid back in the 90s and 94, 99. So go see the game if you have the means, or go to a watch party, live it up, because you just don't know when the next one's going to be. The league is very competitive. Detroit's going to be a year older and wiser. Other teams are going to be competitive next year. So yeah, this is the year. This is the year to go. So on behalf of the Eastern Conference, go support your team. Go flood OKC or San Antonio, whoever wins. Do a road game if that's cheaper. Book your flights, book your hotels in advance that are cancelable.
Let me tell you, the flights are insane. I started looking into it last night. The flights to either OKC or San Antonio are absolutely insane.
It gives you an impression that the games in the West are going to be filled with half Knicks fans. This reminds me of Peach Bowl, and when I'm just going to tap into my Indiana experience this year. It was 80%. Indiana fans at the Peach Bowl.
I might fly to Houston first, rent a car, and then drive to San Antonio. If it's San Antonio, that's actually cheaper potentially than a straight flight to San Antonio, because they jacked up the rates knowing everyone is booking for the finals. Did we lose you, Adam?
And they're going to show up. The Knicks fans are going to show up.
Yeah,
I think that the road games are going to be half Knicks fans. Maybe.
I don't know about half, but there'll be a lot of Knicks fans making the trip.
Half Knicks fans at the road games.
Man, I don't know. I think it will be a lot. The Spurs and Thunder have great fan bases, but there'll be a lot of Knicks fans, because again, it's cheaper to go on the road than it is to these games at MSG. I'm hoping through work I get to go, but that I don't know. I don't know if the NBA handles the credentialing for the finals, or if it's the Knicks, so I can go. We will see. MB says, will you be on ESPN New York more often now during the finals? Really enjoyed you and Ty yesterday. MB, thank you for listening. I don't have my schedule yet, because obviously we were waiting to see if the Knicks were going to go to the finals and the start time for all the games and what have you. But the hope is yes. I will let you know as soon as I know. I'll mention it on the show, and we'll post in the Discord. If you're a Patreon member, check that out. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Fun show yesterday with Ty. And I knew the Knicks were going to win yesterday. I was iffy about game 3. I felt like if they were going to lose a game in the series, it was going to be that one. Once they won game 3 and Cleveland quit the way they did at the end of that third game, I just knew if the Knicks could withstand an early punch, if they got up early at any point, Cleveland was going to lay down like a dog. And by the way, that's also the difference between Atkinson and Tibbs. Tibbs' teams never quit on him. They lost in 6 games to Indiana. That's a huge difference in getting swept. Like what the Knicks just did to Cleveland. I think Atkinson's going to lose his job because the Cavs also didn't close out Detroit in 6 games when they could have. They made it harder on themselves. They had to play all these extra games. Think about that. That they could go 6 in the first round, 7 in the next round. All that adds up. Gator says Knicks are 8-0 in the playoffs since Cat appeared alongside Anne Hathaway and Devil Wears Prada 2. They're also 10-0 since the Jets drafted Kate Klubnik. Stats that matter. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today's closer is on the line. He's a madman. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up.
Good job. What's up, Asmaniacs? Can you guys hear me? You hear me? Oh, man. Let's talk about that Knicks game. That was a crazy ending last night. Good job. 4-0 Cavaliers. They swept them. And I saw on TikTok, the Cavaliers worker, they didn't allow the Knicks fan to have a broom. Come on. That Cavaliers security girl was such a baby. Wah. Come on. Come on. She just said that the Cavaliers got swept, honestly. The Knicks are the best. And honestly, Jake, are you going to do a Knicks watch party at T-Squared Social? You got to do one. Remember you did one for the playoffs? You got to do one for the Knicks because,
Ooh, maybe I will.
You got to hear me? Honestly, What's the next time the Knicks are going to make the finals, honestly, with Jake? And then, but for my Jets point, this is going to be having in preseason. This is what the Jets got to be like. They got to be fighters. They're going to be like, and then karate lesson number 2, guys. Karate class 2. Let me teach you something. Can you guys see me now? This is how you do a hook kick. You spin, pivot. Yeah. I'll teach you guys another card called the Dragon Claw. Yeah.
This is bad.
Yeah.
Bad watching potatoes. Turn that off. Turn it off.
Oh my God.
Jump front kick.
Sorry. Sweet.
I can do better karate than you.
I will crush you within one stroke. You'll be dead before one. You're not my league, kid. Kid, you're below subpar.
Yeah.
My Batman has more brains than you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a show. Let's go, Knicks. Back at it at 4:30 today with Joe Blowett. We will give out a Walt Clyde Frazier jersey. Signed jersey by Clyde. You guys are the best. Thanks for tuning in. There was Jet Talk in here with Sabo if you tuned in late, but obviously the Knicks are the story in sports right now. Go New York. Go New York. Go. We'll talk to you guys this afternoon. Go Jets. Go Knicks. And please leave a message after the beep.
Just leave a message. Just leave a message. Thank you.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets.